Hey everybody, it's me, David Brown, and I have a big announcement today. Sit down, take a moment, listen up, because the interview is dead. It's gone. It's irrelevant. Now you might be wondering, but David, your whole business and company is based off of interviews. How can that be possible? Let me tell you why. The interview is dead because it is no longer relevant. We are starting to hire again. There's lots of people looking, and the interview process, as it has been over the past 10 years, is broken. It doesn't work. It is time for it to retire. In its place, I propose, hopefully you'll understand why, is qualifying. You need to be qualifying candidates. You do not need to be interviewing candidates anymore. So how do you qualify candidates? And why and how is it different than the interview? As you can imagine, they're both very similar, but qualifying takes a lot more pre-work and understanding and sharing of the whys and the whats around an open position. Whereas the interview is a lot about, they got along with the team, my gut told me this, we really liked. That is an interview, and that is still important, but it leaves out critical components of evaluating someone's background. So if you're gonna put interviewing to bed and start qualifying candidates, what does that mean? What do we do? How does that work? The qualifying meeting, I feel, has three different components. One is evaluation. The second is the act of qualifying. And then the third is feedback. Today and over the next 2 weeks, I want to talk about each of these in turn to help you understand why I believe the interview is dead and that qualifying candidates is the way to go forward. So let's dive a little bit into the evaluation phase and how that's different. And this part of the qualifying of a candidate starts long before they even get to your office. It is about developing a comprehensive understanding of why the position is open and who we need, meaning what skills do they bring and what personality do they have, do we need to fill this position. So when you are evaluating in your evaluation phase, you need to understand why the job is open. Is it a replacement? Is it growth? What have you? And then from there, you need to develop a comprehensive job description that outlines what's needed to fill this space. From that job description, you then start to develop questions. These questions are how you're going to evaluate the skill set of whomever's sitting across from you. And these questions need to be comprehensive, they need to be open-ended, and they need to be able to let the candidate share the most and the broadest of their background with you, because you're going to use that information to assess during the feedback phase. The last part of the evaluation is ensuring that everybody's on the same page. Okay, you understand why the job's open, you put together a really good job description, you've got some really good questions that are going to get to the meat of the matter for this candidate. Now, everybody that's going to be interacting in this qualifying meeting with the candidate needs to understand what you're looking for, what good answers look like, what questionable answers look like, where to dig further, and what really the big image of the right candidate looks like. And once everybody's on the same page and has that very deep understanding of not only what to ask, but how to evaluate, you're ready to move on to the next step, which is qualification. And we'll talk about that next week. Any questions, let me know. Have anything that you want to talk about here around your experience with the outdated interview, or maybe you've started to do some of this qualifying of candidates in a different way. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to talk to you and maybe even share some of your ideas with the bigger group next week. And that's it for this week, everybody. I do appreciate your time, and I hope everybody has a great week.